go. I do believe we are live. So I'll say, indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me once again, for finding yourself in this moment of conscious evolution. Today's stream topic is going to be about the safe place within. Yo, man, yo, Sam, yo, Shan. Blessings to you, friends. It's nice having you. Safe place. Safe space? Safe place. Yeah, the safest place that you can ever find is going to be within yourself, right? Like the whole word safe space isn't necessarily one I take offense to. I do, in some part, believe this is a safe space, right? That we have created a space on the internet where we can feel safe enough to share our feelings, our emotions that might be over bubbling, our experience of this world, our successes, our failures, our woes, and our happies. And yet, at the same time, I feel like I'm tasked, if that's the right word, to try and help us all gain more safety within ourselves, right? Hey, Loy, blessings to you, friend. Giving you a little wave as well. Finding that safe place within ourselves so that we don't have to rely on anything else, kind of vibe. Right? I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to be, but I do feel it's a skill that we can grow. You know, that we find ourselves so scattered sometimes, and then being able to just remember that the safest place you could find yourself is in your breath in this moment. Hey, Jaziel, it's nice having you here too, dear friend. This safe place is inside my shirt. There is where it's always been. The safe place is inside my shirt where it's always been. Yeah, exactly. Nobody can take your safe place from you in that capacity. Right? Like I'm getting winded right now, quite literally. And even though usually I would be a little bit perturbed, disturbed by my hair being in my face, I feel like there is a certain level of acceptance. Like I'm not in danger, right? The wind can't disturb my peace right now. Good morning, Flesh Beagles of Awesomeness. Good morning to you, Brother Dan. I see Duck Dad is here too. Jaziel, so nice to see you in yoga this morning, friend, right? What a blessing. Jaziel joins us yesterday, becomes a Patreon supporter, practices yoga with us this morning. You know, it's so beautiful to me to see you friends self-elect in that way, right? That for the large part, we have this imposter syndrome in our minds that we're not worthy, that we're not welcome, that we're not supposed to be one place or another. And then in showing up, suddenly we're welcomed, right? You can be holding on to this idea that you won't be safe somewhere, right? And then as soon as you reach that point where you are feeling safe enough inside yourself, that from that safe place you can show up for everything else. Surprise, surprise, the world opens up to you as well. It truly is a blessing. I love the backdrop today, green amongst the void. Yeah, this is one of my favorite plants, right? It's kind of basic, but such big leaves, so determined to grow itself. Holla lovelies, greetings and lovelings from Colorado, I think. You think you're in Colorado right now? I feel like that's more concerning than anything. Like, am I? Where am I right now? I am in place. We got in a vehicle, and then the vehicle moved us through time and space. And now I find myself in a new place. Maybe that's the way it should be. Maybe that's your joke. Plan, show, and tell who's streaming. Whose stream am I watching? Plan, show, and tell who's streaming. I'm stealing the Duck Dead formula. I'm gonna start checking underneath leaves any second now, trying to find fireflies as well. You know, also gonna make root balls. Or I'll sit here not making root balls for the next 25 minutes. I'm throwing so much shade. Love you, bro. No, 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 no. That's all you, dude. I love tuning into your stream yesterday as well, man. It was a blessing being in that space, having the vice versa of it, right? The whole safe spaceness kind of vibe. shade throat and at least you know I'm coming from a place of softness. It was just beautiful to me to see because, right, in the same way I get distracted with one of your friends' comments, for example, and I'll just like run with it, and then I'll get behind on comments, seeing the same happening to you, and then seeing you try to like do physical labor, basically, you know, something that has meticulous or like step based, and then watching your mind get completely scattered and absorbed into the stream space. I'm like, yeah. I understand. I'm still impressed that you could get anything done at all, dear friend. Love, love, love you. What's up, Pippi? What's up? You seeing something? Hmm? You hear something? Hmm? You smell something? What's up? What's up, Pippi? What's up, Pippi? What's up, Pippi? Pippi? What's up, Pippi? Sweetie patootie. I did actually bring my dry herb vaporizer. I feel I feel very mellow today, right? I don't think mellow is one of the bad ones. I'm not feeling bad. I'm feeling mellow. I guess that's the right word, right? So calm. Calm to the point of boredom, right? And that's the thing that I'm thinking about right now. It's like maybe that's what safe feels like, right? Technically safety can be boring. Am I right in assuming that? Maybe that's the exact feeling I'm supposed to be occupying, I guess. Confirmed in Colorado, stopping in Omaha tonight. Sam, this will be KC. Sam, this will be KC on the way back. I'm tripping out a little bit. I don't. KC is a place, or KC the friend that was tuning into the streams as well. Me gets distracted, only always. It is distracted, only always. Is it distracted if you never focus to begin with? Distraction is my superpower. I feel it, brother bear. Like I feel like that energy, you know, is what got you as far as you have gotten as well. I'm going to lurk for a few, getting ready for impromptu zoo trip. Going to be fire. Blessings to you, bro, and to the little one that you're going to take with you as well. Yeah, they're gonna have to plan a dinner or something, Kristen. Kansas City is my hometown. Well, close enough. There we go. I'm happy that you're actually willing to go and meet one another. Sam, that brings so much joy to my heart. Yeah, do it. Do it. Make connections, have conversations with people that you would have never had the chance to meet if you didn't meet them here. I'm gonna get this machine of mine started, and then we'll start setting an intention. What will our intention be for today? Safety, calm, gentleness. I feel like I'm like oscillating between states of being as well a little bit. We have Kitty in the background. The other side, right, where the wind is kind of disturbing me a little bit. It's making me feel less than calm. And at the same time, my state of mind seems to be fighting against it. Everyone of substance makes the pilgrimage to Sam because Sam lives in the middle of the map. Yeah. Sam will be our new center point, right? Like I'm thinking about the whole North Star joke. But even if there's a North Star, there still has to be an Earth as a frame of reference, right? Maybe you could be Earth, Sam. Safety. I am safe. I am secure. I will be okay. There's nowhere for me to be but where I am. There's nothing for me to do but that which I'm doing. I am worthy of this moment. The hair tickling my face is but a minor disturbance. Like trees stretching out in branches, scratching at the windows as the wind and the rain rushes outside my home. I am safe inside. No need to hide. I can simply be. We have Shell here as well, and even John. Blessings, dear ones. I approve of this. If it's anything like back in the day, flights from Chicago to Kansas City was like $6, but you have to push the airplane for takeoff. I mean, if it's $6 a flight, I'll push the airplane to take off. I'm like, we'll do it Flintstone style, where we put our legs at the bottom of the plane and we just run with it. I'm down. $6. I'll do some manual labor. There's so much love. Thank you, Shell. It's nice having you here as well, dear friend. Covers whoever else I missed. The flight is only about 45 minutes long. It shouldn't be too expensive. Those are usually cheap. The flights to Cape Town right now are pretty cheap as well. I think they're like 1,600 rand for 2 ways. That's like less than $100 technically. You'll pay about $100 for a flight to Cape Town and back from Johannesburg. Thinking about the safety attachment to planes as well. Some people will still refuse to get on a plane and have this underlying fear that it might crash in the middle of the flight, even though it's more unlikely for that to happen than for it to happen in a car, for example. All right. Melty, the flights are 1,200 rand one way at the moment. Yeah. I think I saw like one date, for like 1,600 rand 2 ways, like round trip. It is pretty affordable. I mean, it's still 1,200 rand, right? So it ain't nothing with baggage, yeah. But it's not unaffordable, essentially, right? You can save up for like 2 months and go to Cape Town. Is it just me, or are the colors more vibrant in stream today? Is it the location? I don't know. Maybe it's the contrast, right? It's me wearing orange and reds, and I have a blue outer, and then a green backdrop, and the light kind of catching the leaves and then reflecting more bright green back into your eyeballs. I don't know, but I'm happy that it looks beautiful. I'm happy to share this calm little pocket of reality with you friends that we have created together. How far are you from the nearest airport, Melt? 240 kilometers, like 160 miles, give or take. Far enough for me not to want to walk it, essentially, right? Definitely not on my radar of things that I want to do. We will probably get ourselves a car, when the company starts up as well. Because that way it can be a business expense. Sam visiting the lady, yeah, it's true. John has a beloved. Yesterday I was kind of like hinting at it as well, but I'm so happy for him. The action movie combo. What? Maybe the sharp ass combination of orange and blue. Yeah, there we go. I'm happy that Sam was also connecting the dots in that way. Thank you, Kristen, for echoing the love. Sam, at the moment, the action movie combo with baggage. How far? Sam, I've spent more middle of the night layovers in the Kansas City airport, half the size of the city block, than I care to count. Oh, why? Does it just I have like delays? I think I saw like a daily dose of internet video or something where the cameraman was like filming a woman or a spokesperson for the airport talking about how they have less delays now. Excuse me. And then as she's talking about how there's like less delays, he moves or she moves the camera up, and then you just see this like delay, timestamps for different flights to different places, delay, cancel, delay, on time, delay. And I almost can't imagine that, right? Like I feel weirdly enough, every single plane I've ever been on was exactly on time. And I had to be exactly on time. and I was exactly on time, and the plane was exactly on time, and we got to where we were going at the time that they said we would. And the fact that you friends can go to a plane exactly on time and then just have it delayed or canceled, be like, yeah, no more flight. No, sorry about that. That's almost unfathomable to me. How are you okay with that? Right? Especially if you have places to be, or you have, a client to see, or someone needs something fixed, or you have some sort of seminar or talk to give. Like I almost can't imagine flying in that way with the uncertainty, right? Maybe like that's what I'm asking basically, Doctor, is what happened, bro. Uh, I hear the new building looks really good though, Doc. That I'm not exactly sure what new building you're talking about, but the new building that's been very viscerally on my mind is the Vegas Dome. Is it called Vegas Dome? I wanted to ask Kristen if you've actually seen it, dear friend. Like that piece of technology foggles my mind a little bit. I really want to have the HDMI input. I'm having a hard time talking right now. I want to be able to make beautiful the outside world, right? Melt people's brains with that dome. It's one of my little checklists, goals, something that I want to do before I'm dead. South Africa things, ask our government why our economy sucks. Yeah. Why is the damn ticket so expensive? Oh, that's expensive? Weirdly enough, to us, that feels cheap right now, right? To us, we're like, oh, wow, these tickets are cheap at $100 two ways. It is about 2 hours flight as well, right? So I think that needs to be taken into account. But yeah, things unfortunately are a little bit more expensive here. Everything, technology, the food is not. That's something I should actually give it. I think the food might be a little bit cheaper. We might have electricity prices on par with American prices right now. I think our fuel is more expensive. Pretty much any import, all right? We pay like up to sometimes even more than 50% tax on cars like golf carts, for example. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's still that way, but for a long time, any electric vehicle was marketed or labeled under the luxury good or luxury vehicle, category, which means you pay 50% import tax. Right, and our country is pretty far behind with the whole EV revolution as well. Unfortunately, most of the cars being sold still are gasoline ICE vehicles, internal combustion engines. It would be pretty cool if it wasn't a true lion infested territory. Yeah, it's true. That's okay. There we go. Thing. Millwall has hideout or a tree house. I had what I would call a hideout when I was 5 to 6. Was essentially just two wooden structures, with another wooden structure at the top of it, against the corner of a wall, or like fencing, technically, right? Those concrete fencings, and that was like my little base of operations. I little base of operations. I had a cousin who had like this amazingly high treehouse. Who had like this amazingly high treehouse. It was like scary to climb up it, amazingly high treehouse, and it made me feel like there's this world outside of the world that my parents would occupy, right? Because it's very rare that you see an adult person in a treehouse, right, or in a hideout in the woods somewhere, right? Like that's like a rare occurrence. So in my mind as a child, it was like this escape, from scrutiny, essentially. how things change, right? And yet still there is that, right? I feel like it attaches to that safe space conversation that we're having, you know, that maybe a safe space is a space without scrutiny. Hey Google, define scrutiny. Critical observation or examination. Do you feel critically observed and examined? I'm sorry. That's scrutiny, apparently. Yeah, and then to attach it to today's stream topic, that one of the safe spaces, we should say, is yourself, right? And then paying attention to it in that way, because I don't think there is, we should draw lines like absolutes necessarily with this as well, because critically observing your own behavior and examining why you do things can be beneficial, right? It can be beneficial for your state of mind. And it's interesting because we can justify a lot of doing, right? So much doing can be justified. Doing this, doing that. I like it. It's important. Easy reasons to justify something. But doing nothing, not critically observing, not examining. Is it examining? Not examinationings. Just paying attention to what it is you're feeling right now. It doesn't make us feel safe, right? Especially if there's a part of us that hasn't been explored. Again, from that perspective of some parts of ourselves is the shadow, hides in the shadow, right? Doesn't actually like being seen. And then when we see it in someone else, it's almost like they're saying the part that shouldn't be said. Like they say this silent part out loud. And then it's like it screams it inside of you as well. I feel like there's something in there about spending time with yourself being a way to not scrutinize yourself against someone else. And then all of that coming back with the answer of balance, right? That we can do both. Life teaches lessons in strange ways. Right? It's like the whole the fate thing. You believe in fate? Do you believe in fate? Right? That your actions could potentially be predetermined. Your life path has already been set. Things are gonna happen, whether you like it or not. I don't like believing in fate. I don't actually. Right? Because I feel there has to be, again, it's like a duality in my mind. That maybe that thing we think of as fate, right? That concept is attached somehow to some sort of universal principle or understanding within ourselves. But on the other side, if you don't show up for your own fate, you can't have it, right? And then again, the whole safe place, space and place melted into one, a safe place. The safe place inside of yourself. How do you stay there when there is so much expected of you? All right. Like the thing that I'm tripping out about is how it's almost hard for me to justify doing inner work. Right. Like that's what I'm tripping out about right now. Scrutiny, right? It doesn't make me feel safe. That ego of mine is like, oh, it's looking at me. What's happening inside here? Oh, what's happening inside here? This is my safe place. Oh, what are you doing in here? Messing shit up with all of these stories that do not serve me. I'm paying attention. $4.30 per gallon. of dinosaur juice here. I don't know. I yeah. I want to say something about the whole dinosaur connection because technically there were dinosaurs in the collective biomass that now is oil, but it's not actually dinosaurs. Hurts my heart just to know that fact, right? I feel like that was like one of the little bit of wonders. In a weird way, I think it might be brain damage, right? Maybe kids think it's metal to drive internal combustion engines because you're burning dinosaurs. It's like, yeah, fuck you, dinosaurs. We're living right now and using you as our fuel. No, and actually, most of it's not dinosaurs. Back in my day, Mel, the only way my parents would afford to take us on vacation was to fly middle of the night with a bunch of layovers that weren't even in the direction of where you were going. That sounds absolutely ridiculous. I'm happy that you get to offer your daughter a better life, Brother Bear. These things are cumulative, fortunately. One step follows another, right? Things bowling on things, bowling on things. Drop a address, I'll scoop out some cat litter to make the postage worth it. That's so cursed. It would be pretty cool to walk. Freaking lies. Message sphere? Sphere? Zano, blessings, friend. It's nice having you here. The sphere gives me massive Final Fantasy X vibes. I feel like I might have said something that spawned all of that information, but it's like my brain is like, yeah, access tonight. Or we were feeling so safe. We weren't trying to hoard anything, not even the information that you shared. One way to KC in September is like $100 for the Southwest. Surprisingly expensive. Yeah, that does sound actually pretty expensive. What about the end of September? Like I don't know, the 26th. Making the plans. I'm tripping out how beautiful this is. Melt, my mom just got back from Vegas. She says the dome thing is mind breaking. Yeah. Right? Because again, we've been doing that as human beings for so long. Like the pyramids is one example of that. Like we build things so unfathomably large that our brains right at the get-go, right? At least in some sort of fractal, gets to understand, right, how small we can be. And then seeing that thing move in real time, right? Your brain is like, oh, what? What the fuck am I seeing right now? What's happening to my brain? And that is like, in my mind, conscious evolution, right? It's mind expanding, literally. Your mind literally has to expand because now suddenly in your reality is something the size of your field of vision changing in real time. The not right. That's right. Right? Our brains were never made to, not at least in our normal world, to experience something like that. Right? And yet we see something like that and boom, we consciously evolve to make that a part of our frame of reference. Now everything else we do starts with a whole new fractal, a whole new frame of reference, a whole new starting point about what is possible. Right? What is actually possible? It's the whole like 4-minute mile thing. I think that's the right terminology, where people were like, yeah, it's impossible for a human being to run a 4-minute mile, and then one dude did it, and then multiple people around the world did it as well, because that level of what is possible is like a mental barrier that we're all pushing against, trying to melt, right? Pushing it forward, the infinity spear, cutting into that reality, exposing more and more layers for us to actually take into consideration what we are. I'm trying to bring it back into safe space in my mind. We are safe. If you're the spear, you're pretty safe, right? You're not actually the thing being attacked. You are the words in my mind is point of aggression. Exploration, right? I'm thinking about how a being that doesn't feel safe doesn't have the freedom of exploring. You know, if you as a creature come into an environment and you see a predator, lion, in your environment, right? You're not gonna go, oh, let me go see what this tree looks like, and let me go see what that tree. Oh, that's looks like an interesting rock that lays there. Let me go look around it, right? That isn't in your frame of reference. That's not a possibility in your world because there's a lion standing in front of you. You need to keep yourself safe, right? And how that, as a metaphor, extends, to the larger fractal that we're in right now, where our fears are even more complex, exponentially more complex than just a lion. And in the same way, it makes the world unexplorable, right? It makes the world dangerous, makes the world like an unsafe place to be because of this monster, this fear, this thing standing in the way, right? And it's standing in the way inside of you as a narrative, right? As like a story that builds up the body parts of this monster. The more convincing, the scarier the monster. The more reason you have to believe the fear, the easier it is to keep hiding from it. Man, thinking about how being scared of monsters as a child comes with a feeling of safety by hiding under your blankets. It's unsafe to have your foot hanging off the bed. Right? Like that, it's so silly. And yet, psychologically, having that blanket over your head, over your entire body, induces a sense of safety. Like you create a safe place for yourself. That seeking the safe space in the world literally expects you to almost make it claustrophobic. And that can be comforting, right? I'm not saying it's a bad thing necessarily, but I am thinking about how by realizing you don't have to close yourself out to the world to feel safe within yourself, it allows you to actually see the whole world as a safe place to be. Sure, yeah, all right, with your own discretion, but you understand what I'm trying to say, or at least I hope we can. I'm trying to explain it to myself as well. I don't think I'm scared, right? That's the thing that I'm asking myself as well at the same time. It's like, am I scared? What am I scared of? Scared of failure, right? That's a pretty complex one, right? Like because what's failure technically, right? All of us die eventually, and in that case, the only thing I could succeed at is never dying, right? That's a little unrealistic. So I'm gonna fail anyway. So what is success in that case? If not this moment, welcome to Melter. Lauren, bro. So now we know. It does tell us in the live stream, bro. What a blessed Melter you are. Thank you for joining us in the YouTube, membership as well, Brother Bear. It's nice seeing your name. I feel like this wobble we went through, right? Like at the start of stream, and it happens sometimes that way, where I find myself, I don't know if it's even doubting, right? It's like maybe just unsure, uncertain of how a certain energy is going to be received or how I'm supposed to be if I feel a certain way or another, right? Especially if there's new feelings involved, if there are things that happen inside our being that might not be familiar. How do we deal with that? Right? Again, within this safe space analogy, the unfamiliar cannot take away any safety if you feel it within yourself. And yet, that's almost the thing that brings the most of that sense of fear, right? Like for example, if aliens just suddenly had to land on our Earth, right, without any prior exposure to it, right? Like we go from we're the only ones on Earth, and then suddenly aliens, right? We would absolutely lose our shit, everyone, because that's so unfamiliar so quickly, right? And now we have made it with our internal narrative it very yeah aliens right, like all of us when we talk about aliens, if we think about the scale of the universe, it's not something that's that far out there at this point, right, in our current perception of this world, the layer, right, again, our base reasoning, right, as soon as we realize something, as soon as there is something really crystallized in our collective mind, it's almost like that becomes our new place of origin, where we're like, oh yeah, aliens are real, and these are the ideas I'm having, and this is the art that I'm trying to make about it, this is the music I'm making, right, it's like it's a whole new experience to start off from, and that unfamiliarity fear can be taught, right? For example, discomfort, or coming back to the whole failure question, right? You can teach yourself how to fail. I've seen a bunch of like YouTube videos about dudes literally making a point of like asking people for money on the street or something, and just having them say no, right? As like as a means to train yourself to ask for something, and then to have a person be like, no, and then to be okay, to still feel safe, right? Because a lot of that, someone saying yes or approval, is a sense of like, oh, I'm not safe in this world. I need this person to approve of me, right? To be like, yeah, you're good, you fine, you yes, you here have a buck or whatever, and yeah, right. Going through that experience, it's I think at least easier for you to be okay with whatever sense of failure you think you might encounter. Maybe we'll do something like that in the future. You know, I would actually enjoy being a little bit more present. Quilt more, yeah. I mean, like there's gonna be a bunch of more channels at this point. Like my mind is already going into that fractal as well. It's your birthday. My mom and aunt are the 25th of September, end of September. My mom's is 1st of September. Date. I'll go back to horse and carriage before I pay that. That's hilarious. Yeah, like fuel, for example, if you're driving to Pretoria, if my mom, like we can make that example. If my mom had to now drive me to the airport to go and drop me so that I can fly to Cape Town, for example, it's gonna be like $100 or $60 or so for the actual flight ticket one way, and it's gonna be about $40. Yeah, between 35 and $40 just to drive there and to drive back for my mom. And then technically she'll have to come back again, so add another 15 or $20, right? Just for the fuel. Like it's straight up ridiculous. Like that alone, right? I'm completely sold on EVs. And I'm still going to build the van with solar on its roof. We'll call it Solar V, right? It's a RV with solar. Well, so yeah, if you run out of juice, you set up, roll your panels out, because we'll probably have flexible ones at that point. Roll panels out, chill. Ride one of your EUCs, on the mountain trail as your vehicle is charging. Stand in the sun for 3 days. After the 3 days, you're charged up again for like 400 kilometers or whatever. Drive your little stint again. Like that sounds like such a beautiful nomadic lifestyle. Being able to literally, see different spaces while doing as little harm to the earth. Literally harvesting sunlight, like moving like a little turtle or a little beetle that keeps charging himself up in the sun. Hello, Joe. Love to you. Good morning, all you beautiful creatures. Super funny and super hot today, but the sky is still blue and the birds are still singing. the blessings never cease. And I mean, you're here right now, Dr. Joe Schmo. Like, it really is a blessing, bro. Thank you for joining us too. Sam, luckily, we don't drive much anymore. Back in work days, I was doing at least a tank a week. And there's probably no compensation for that either. Just like, yeah, that's your loss, bro. Why don't you use public transit? It's because there is no public transit, bro. You have not been spending nearly as much money on public transit as you have on urbanizing and carifying our cities and our worlds. It's like, who's pointing fingers? Greetings from Alabama. Love to Zhao. Jumping in to quickly say hello and all the lovely love yous. Hope you friends have a lovely day. Thank you, Zhao, for tuning in for a moment. Hope that you're having a good one too. Mel spitting fire today. Thank you, bro. Tuning into the frequencies, right? It happens sometimes. The stream topic is both relevant and welcomed. I feel we connected on so many different nodes, right, to what this inner safety is supposed to mean. It surprises me what comes out in these streams sometimes. Because I feel I should be trying harder, right? Like, and I've done it to some extent. There is a way. Like, I have a whole process to try harder. And yet, the try hard version of these streams, even though they're still something, they're still beautiful in their own capacity, I feel like it wouldn't have the same element of maybe safety, right? Safety in the unknown, right? Because what I do sometimes is I like to create structure and clarity in my own mind about exactly what it is I want to communicate. And then I could technically go into, like a framework, build a little framework of understanding. And that is practically the better way to do things, right? And it would make me feel safer having created that outer structure, being able to see it, and then being able to reference it. I can bring it on the tablet or whatever. But at the same time, I don't know. Where these streams take us sometimes feels mysterious almost, right? The mystery of what's going to be said next. I'm here for it as well, right? Like, give us more aliens. Give us more. Maybe the aliens are helping us channel information to this world right now. Is that a you skibbity bop? Skilla scuba schlumba plumb. Plumb. Shumba plump sounds like a call drink. We can sell it one day. Get yourself Schlumba plump. Mommy, I want to be. Miss Lo, it was your idea. It's okay, bro. Love is true, on the way, right? Have a beautiful day, Kristen. Have a good day. Love is true. Namaste. Hey, Lisa. Blessings to you, friend. Maxine is here too. Naren, we did say hi. Nancy, blessings to you, dear friend. There must be cybersecurity techs stopping people from having the Vegas Dome getting hacked. I'm shocked that there hasn't been a giant dong on it yet. Yeah. I mean, that like the problem basically. Like the problem basically. Right? You can just sandbox that stuff. Yes, love is true. Anyone else experiencing a choppy stream? Yeah, unfortunately, my internet hasn't been very stable. I'm sorry. I hope it still is good enough. Did Melty get a new camera? Its sharpness and vibrancy of colors is a whole other level. I think maybe there's just some sort of something happening on the algorithm side. I wouldn't be surprised. Could be yeah, it's different now than it was at the start of the stream. A little bit at least. I could potentially try switching to mobile data. Let me know if it's too bad. We could try that. If anyone hacked in Vegas Dome, they'd go for maximum damage and put Nyan Cat on there. I'd be okay with that. I would be like, yeah. 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 I mean, I would even go for Rage comics. You know, like just like flashing all of the different Rage comics. You know, like really go for it. Really hit that nostalgia bone. Melty, did you get your phone? No, unfortunately not. Still the same tech. Maybe the algorithms will get better and we can have better quality eventually, right? Because technically, it's very much possible for each and every single one of our devices to have upscaling features. So as soon as it loads into your device does work to it to make it look better than it actually does, right? At least to your eyes. And I mean, I don't really see a problem with that. I kind of think it's cool. Hey, management. Thank you, Nancy, for saying hi. It's the navy plus orange in front of the green and backlighting. Yeah. Totally intentional. I know camera work. You know, hit me up. My email is in the description. As I try to look for a stick to prop up my tripod. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's how it starts for everybody. 35 to 40 bucks for the drive to the airport. I will see you in hell first. Oh, goodness. Well, to describe how the astronaut in the Martian movie's vehicle across Mars. Movie. Yeah, of course. Like, I'm not saying this is my brain, coming up with some revolutionary understanding. It just sounds beautiful to me, right? It sounds elegant. It sounds harmonious. Sounds like there is a symbiosis with life happening there, like nature and humanity hand in hand, right? Because I don't think the Earth has problems with beings moving, right? I feel the Earth likes beings moving on her surface. I don't think she likes getting poisoned while that's happening, right? Like, I don't think, urine and feces are necessarily, bio waste. If they get mixed, they can become bio waste. But if they stay apart, they can actually, serve the environment as well. Surely we're going to have some sort of system in place properly. And that is, very much something that goes somewhere else, right? Surely there'll be some sort of scheduling happening as well. And that's possible. Again, just a matter of actually having our Internet of Things, connected. What's more likely is my question always, right? Looking 20 years into the future, are things going to be more connected or less connected? And if we look at the current trend of things, it's very easy to understand where things are going. Hello again and hello new arrivals. Just took everyone for a walk around the block with my pooch. Thank you, Nancy, for doing that, friend. I'm happy for you too. Yeah, we could maybe like make that a thing. You can like pop the melt stream in your pocket, go for a walk around your block in your little park. Maybe that could be like a thing we can do. Even make it a thing. I'm just laughing at Melt watching this dude agonizingly set up solar panels in a hostile environment, trying to kill him with every step and going, "That's my jab right there." I mean, bro. Like the way I'm seeing it is like symbiosis. It's like making the most of that circumstance, bro. Like literally live or die, right? Because we find ourselves again in a very safe environment generally because the atmosphere is breathable, unlike Mars, right? That's how safe we have it, right? So if we can deploy some of that technology that works even on a continent or a planet that has no breathable oxygen, like that feels like the right way to go, right? Step in the right direction in my mind. All right, let's pull a card, shall we? See what sacred geometry has to say. I do want to make myself a new box. One of wood, potentially. Hey, Google, can you show me beautiful dark woods? Not exactly what I was looking for. Maybe I should say for sale or shopping. I'll click on the shopping button. That's wood stain. Oak looks nice. Dark mahogany. Nice. Hey Google, can you show me dark mahogany for sale? Yeah. Don't wood grow on trees? Like I'm. I mean, I get it, right? It's a process, but these mahoganies are freaking expensive. You know? It's gonna be like a few $100 just for a box. Getting ready to go to the zoo. Much love to you. I'll take some cool pictures. Please do, bro. Sending you lovins, man. Go and share smiles with your little one. Feel a connection to nature. Become aware of these animals and their place in our systems. Right, their lives matter too. Love is true. We'll see you again soon, bro. Have a great time, dog. Love you, friend. Thank you, Shan. This one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Weirdly enough, connected to today's stream. Right? Talking about your diamond soul, your safe place. Right? Diamond being so hard, so clear. I did pull it upside down, but I'll show it to you right side up first. It doesn't really matter technically. It looks the same, but there's a star coming from the top. Isn't that a cool card? The Diamond Mandala. The Diamond Mandala means, at least the upside down meaning first. Know that allowing your light to shine does not mean trying to outshine others. Other dimensions. Yeah, we did talk about that in today's stream. Whirling out from the womb of the cosmos, energy is the most basic stuff of creation. Every quark and molecule of humankind and of the entire multiverse consists of tiny packets of energy and light. The spirit or light body is spoken of in some ancient philosophies as the diamond soul and is believed to be the eventual course of evolution for humanity as a whole. It is multidimensional and holographic and could be pictured as your interdimensional passport. Meditate, travel with this image to other dimensions and envision bringing forth your pure diamond light. This essence is the brilliant core of you that shines in love, compassion, fulfillment, and joy. This diamond soul is within you. As you bring it forward, it will put you on a path illuminated by your own inner radiance. Employ this card to journey to dimensions so brilliant that your heart bursts open in rapture. Sit in this bliss and soak up the light. Sit with your brilliance as long as you are able, and then slowly, consciously, return to your physical body in the here and now. When you return from this meditation, you may need some time to integrate the light that you now contain. Ask to assimilate this energy in a holistic manner so you may make use of it in the highest and best manner possible. Skip Rob. Missing Joy today. Maybe she's lurking in silence. Doesn't want to say anything. Maybe she's been waiting for me to say something. Yeah, I said it. I said it, Joy. You're still seen. Whew, this card is kicking my ass a little bit. Like I was having a conversation this morning, and it was about in part travel. All right, like the nonsense of my country and the paperwork and the passports and the approvals you need and the hoops you have to jump through essentially. And pulling this card feels like this, again, safe place reminder that I have this interdimensional passport inside of me, right? This part of yourself that can literally go somewhere else, where we can go like, close your eyes. Now imagine what it would be like to be walking on a beach side. Maybe the sand is pink, the water is beautifully clear, the sun is setting, right? Surely this version of us wasn't there, but some version of you were. You could literally feel it. You could see it. You were there, right? And you have that interdimensional passport inside of you. It's just about where you want to go, right? If you're going to use your safe space, where do you want to go? If you can go anywhere, where are you going, right? And then realizing you did from the anywhere come here. Damn, the stream looks so good. I'm here. I overslept. We love you, Joy. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's like some sort of algorithm upgrade. Looking clear, right? I'm feeling less clear than I have like probably in the last few weeks. And the stream at the same time is more clear than it's been in the last few weeks. It feels so synchronous, right? Like they balance each other out. I wouldn't be surprised if there's just like an upgrade in the YouTube algorithms happening. Right, like it's a processing problem technically, how clear they can get the strings to be. And a bandwidth thing, right? Maybe they just allocated more bandwidth to me. Thank you, YouTube. That's so nice. That's so nice of you. Thank you. I appreciate more. Give more quality. Suddenly, you can count the individual hairs on my head. It's literally just now decent hours on the West Coast, though, Joy. That's also true, actually. Like you do wake up really early. There's no expectation. I just wanted to let you know that your presence was missed, in chat at least. I'm just laughing at Mel. That's my chat right there. Again, love is true. Literally, damn, the stream looks good. Thank you again. I theorize that it's because navy plus orange and backlighting and green, right? Like all of the steps. Maybe like when I'm streaming with the whole vastness, it's like a little bit more gray, for one, and it's also a lot of information to try and process. Where this is a little bit more of a limited set, right? It knows what it's looking at, kind of vibe. It's probably just golden hour sun rays, that too, right? That's partly why I decided to start filming at 4 p.m. It's because that's going to be the closest to the best light you can get in the day. So that's why I also stream outside, because I can't afford to buy lights, at least at the start. And I have a small sensor on my camera, right? All of these things coming together to make the Meltmore streams what they are. Safe place, right? What if I'm having a hard time coming back to my physical body? I don't think that's wrong necessarily, right? I feel it's again balance is where we have to kind of like remind ourselves that it's okay for you to use that safe space, right? But also to realize that you can make this space safer for others as well. And then it's a balancing act, essentially. Right? And then it comes back to what we think is fair, how much we believe we're owed or deserve. And I feel like that's where the real conscious work comes in. It's because the world will let you know, essentially. Right? It'll communicate to you. It'll be like, hey, And say, hey, hey, oh, oh. Yeah, the universe is the universe is talking to me right now. Mm, it's like when you take psychedelics and all the colors intensify. Same chance, same. Love is true. Love is true, friends. Stay in your bodies, right? You in your physical form is still very necessary. I was thinking about that today, weirdly enough, right? I think about dying a lot, right? As much as I can. It's a it's a stoic recommendation. It's like medicine that I take. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna die. Okay, okay, good, good. Acknowledged. Be present with this moment. Be like, oh wow, leaves. There's poop on the ground. The sun is shining on so many things. There's little flies flying around. Little birds chirping. People singing. Doves dovening. Yeah. We might all die one day, but let's see what a good time it is being alive right now. What a time! Fuck, I seriously got a text from a client saying I should be in a meeting right now. Just opened my 5 minutes. Opened my eyes 5 minutes ago. What time is it? Los Angeles? It's like 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Needs to be in the office already. Need to be meeting. I'm sorry, Joy. Good luck to you, dear friend. I hope that the client is at least appreciative of your time. Maybe because you friends have so many different time zones in America, it might be 11 for them or something. Melty, thank you so much for being a beacon in the dark and a lighthouse in the storm. Your words resonate and your thoughts are echoed, brother. You are seen, heard, and appreciated. Many thanks. I honor you, brother bear. I see a hammerhead shark when I close my eyes. I don't know if that's significant to you, brother bear, but thank you for seeing me as well. It's been harder when the one person you get to see tells you they don't care about anything you say and want to be done talking to you, like in annoyance. Yeah, I understand that. I think it's even harder because I feel like, I am assuming we don't want to do that, but from the information that I have, I'm guessing you're talking about Amara. Yeah, yeah, that's a little bit rough. Like, it's one thing if a person, right, is annoyed with you and doesn't want to spend time with you anymore, but when that person is your 10-year-old child, like my eyes want to roll so hard. Oh, and at the same time, I understand. At the same time, I knew that we, at least to some capacity, were there as well. It really is rough when it feels a little bit relentless sometimes. Like you can't do anything right, you know. It's like getting stuck basically. Definitely Monday feels joy. Love is true. Joy looked them in the eyes and says, I'm sorry. I had White Castle last night. Nothing more said. Start the meeting. I unfortunately don't get that fractal, but I think it might be like a toilet joke or something. Shan, that stuff hurts. I sorry, Fran. Thank you. Thank you, Zhao, for echoing, and seeing our beloved Shan as well. I've been trying hard, but the mo- she's she more and more doesn't want anything to do with me. Yeah. Unfortunately, Shan, and we've had this conversation, Amara grew up in a weird world, right? In a world where she, for as long as she can remember, had access to brain damage, essentially, right? And I was having this conversation with her as well. Like, even if you don't give your kids a cell phone or a tablet, the brain damage that the other kids who have cell phones and tablets, occupied or gathered, is going to be shared with your child eventually as well. And the predominant brain damage right now is more stuff, more happy, right? Oh, look at this influencer, this person with so many million followers. Look at how happy they are. Look at the production quality of their video. Look at how they're opening this new product that looks really shiny and nice. I want that. right? Oh, maybe I same millions followers, same happies if I buy a cell phone. No, unfortunately, no. And especially if you don't understand the worth of money, as a child rarely does, right? It's a double whammy of now, one, I'll happy if I get thing, but at the same time, having absolutely no fathoming of how to gather that amount of capital to be able to buy the thing that's not going to make you make you happy in the first place, right? It's a weird conundrum. It's like a scrutiny of your safe space, right? It's like, oh, you think you're okay? You don't got the X577 Plus Pro Ultra, you know? You're not okay. It's like, oh no, I need the X57. I don't even remember what I just said. Like, and that's literally just a gibberish number that I made up, and that's the point I'm trying to make. It's like, oh goodness, we really ruin ourselves of our needs sometimes and our wants and our expectations of our own parents. Shan, it can be a one-way conversation with our children. Yeah, man, kids want to spend time with you, Shan, when you need the most time alone. When you want to hang with them, they aren't having it. Ebbs and flows, and you are mama extraordinaire. Literally, I have to juggle the whole fractal by herself, basically. Melty, would you be willing to show us baby melt pics in the Discord? Baby melt pics. I can show you baby melt pics in the stream. You accept? Hmm? You want some? You want some baby melt? You want to see me as chilt? I'll show you what I look like as a chilt. I'll show you some sunrise or sunset. Excuse me. I'll show you your sunrise while I get some baby melt. Want some baby melt? Baby, baby melt. Ooh, baby looks so comfy with my mommy. What's your mommy? Ek kom kry baba voetjies. Baba foto's. Ja, mense wil sien hoe like baba melt. Skip the bop. Boop dee scoop. Yeah, I think these are enough. That'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Oh, back in stream again. Let's see. Let me get the one that I'm the youngest in. This is me as like a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old pretending to be, you guessed it, Spodraman. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna Spodraman this freaking window. And next oldest photo is here with two of my older cousins, my younger cousin, and nope, my brother and my younger cousin. I used to have blonde hair. Surprise, surprise. Then, this is me again. More wanting to be freaking Spider-Man. I wanted to be Spider-Man so bad, yo. I still want to be Spider-Man. I don't want my uncle to die though. That would suck. Maybe I don't want to be Spider-Man after all. Learning the responsibility is probably the hardest lesson you can. And then here is me with my siblings. Here is where the pain started sinking in. You can see it in my eyes. You can see, oh, pain. Pain with you know, and I was wearing red because I refused. I refused to wear blue. I was like, miss me with that bullshit. Miss me with it. I'm wearing red. And my mom was like, nah, with your brothers. And I was like, nah. And nah, it's gonna be red. There you go. There's some baby photos of me as a child. What an experience. I'm looking at myself right now. Who is that person? Who is oh, what happened to me? Oh goodness. My heart just died. Those fucking goggles. I know. I know. It's a little bit absurd. It's making me sad a little bit. Why? Maybe because of how safe I felt at that point in my life. I'm seeing myself through my dad's eyes right now. Man, it's making me feel some things, yo. Love is true. Okay. Mm, Shan, I feel like every day 3, I understand so much. Sending you love, sis. Teens are tricky. Thank you, Lisa, for echoing the love as well. I feel like we would all die from cuteness. Hopefully not. Maybe we can cry from cuteness, you know, but no dying on me. Just wanted to share that I had gone through a breakup when I had first met you 1.5 years ago. My life was a mess. Things do become better with time. Thank you, Naren, for sharing that, Brother Bear. I'm happy that you're feeling better as well. Love is true. Slowly but surely, things do get better. Shanna loves life. Love is true. And we might have said it at the exact same time. There you go. It's nice having you here again, dear friend. You've been missed. Sending you love. It's nice having you here right now. We're talking about safe spaces, right? This being a type of safe space that we've created, but specifically how we have this inner safe space within each and every single one of us. And as soon as we realize that, it's almost like the world becomes a more safe place as well, right? Pippi still has a hard time with that inner safe space. Everything's dangerous. Everything. Oh, I'm screaming. I'm screaming. I'm screaming. I'm screaming. I'm screaming so much. Fractions of Bugatti. I'm happy that you friends are enjoying the visual fractal as well today. I feel like, yeah, framing. Aliens. Aliens. You think that's the sun? Nope. That's an alien spaceship. They got us duped. What's happening right now? No, that sun is real. I have to make sure. Yeah, looks real. Burns my eyes if I look into it. Just to not do that. Your digital friend from Illinois sends love. Love is true. Thank you. Shan, I think it comes and goes. And you need to know that it only validates you and Amara are individuals developing in parallel and together. This is the way. Thank you for that reminder as well. I've been feeling rejection from everyone in my physical life. I'm trying so hard. I really am. Yeah, I get that as well, Shan. Like I feel it doesn't even have to be, that clear as Amara's trying to make it as well. But like you notice that some people just do not approve of the way you are, right? And it doesn't make you feel safe, right? And again, we had this conversation yesterday that saying certain things, if it's you know, for instance, just not feeling appreciated or wanted or welcomed by the people in your physical life, it feels like a type of rejection that could lead to your death, you know. So please continue trying, Shan. We'll be here for you every day, you know, welcoming you back, appreciating your words, the love that you choose to share with us as well. Mm, Dum Dum, she can read some and has tons of books, but she doesn't read any of them. Yeah, it's easier to scroll anything or watch anything than read a book, unfortunately. You've created a foundation that's so strong that she feels safe enough to go into the outside world. You're doing amazing, Shan. My parents were the opposite and was left with abandonment wounds. There we go. Exactly. I shared that same sentiment of her as well, right? That if we feel, Corey, brother bear, what a blessing having you, Ninja Nanner. How is the little fruit cup doing? How's Eden? How are you? Do let us know. It's nice having you here again. We were talking about children, so you coming into the space, uh, that when it comes to children and them kind of attacking us or using hurtful language, the reason they're willing to do that is because in their world, you might be the only safe place for them to do that, to express in that way, right? Because they know they are so safe with you, so loved by you, that even in saying the most horrible things, you will still love and accept them, right? And there is like a weird psychological thing happening there that we don't always understand. But being able to verbalize that to ourselves, it helps me at least, you know, to understand why I tend to act the way I do. And then in becoming aware of that, I can choose not to. Pippi instantly starts using my hand as a place to rest her little neck. I texted the client back and said the meeting needs to be rescheduled for working hours. It's 10 a.m. for them. Yeah, 8 a.m. for me. And I didn't agree to a meeting at this time. Yeah. Joy standing up for her fractal. I'm proud of you, dear friend. And I'm guessing they're gonna reschedule, you know, like 2 hours from now or something. It hurts when Shell Jr. doesn't want to talk to me. But when he decides to, I just try to listen, no matter how completely uninterested I am in the topic. I'm trying to be the model. Bless Shell. It's hard to talk to our moms, right? Like we are growing so rapidly as young people at this point, you know. We're exposed to so much information and our way of seeing the world, right? Again, from that perspective that I shared earlier, that when you expose yourself to something mind-boggling, you know, something that is that is beyond your scope of reference as a normal human being, it changes the whole way you reason, right? Like it changes the place from which you are reasoning, like your ground, your foundation. And unfortunately, I feel like sometimes the same block with my mom, we do not share that same fractal to the capacity where we can have sometimes the type of conversations we might want to, right? So I really applaud your modeling, you know, of listening and being there, you know, and giving that attention and that time, even if you might not be interested in the conversation, because that is technically how conversation works, right? It's not about being completely invested in what is being said. It is being invested in the other person and paying attention to them as they're choosing to say something, right? And that is the hard part at the end of the day as well. I'm proud of you for doing what you can to make sure your relationship stays healthy, dear friend. That's the way. Baby pigs. Shan, my library has Wonder Books. Wonder Books? They have a small MP3 player and speaker. So lit. That's wondrous. I'm there for the Wonder Book name. They can just read along and just listen. They even have a headphone jack. I think that might be too basic for Amara at this point, right? Like she would be like, "What is this? CDs? This is Stone Age technology." Spits in the book. The reflection blurs out the image. The reflection? Maybe we're talking about this reflection. I don't know if you were. I hope you got a clear look, at least for a moment. I miss photo albums. Yeah, they do have a certain tangibility to them. I feel like we will make photo albums eventually in the digital space. It will just be a matter of being able to interact with things properly, right? Like you can make yourself a physically, well, a three-dimensional representation of a book that you can pull out of your, you know, closet that you can summon. I want to reminisce. I want to nostalgia bomb myself. And then your drawer opens up and then you can see 2020, 2021, 2022, and then you can grab one of those books out and then actually go through the photos that you took during that space of time. Right, it's very much possible. Hey, Dad, sending you lovins. Melt fam, just popping in. After a beach walk with Mom, bless. We were talking about children and connections with our parents recently, bro. I'm happy that you're spending some time with your mom. Send her our blessings. Thank her for bringing you into this world from us as well. Mm. Num, 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 num. I love the stream with your parents melt. Remember the one where they talked of your youth. A little wild me that I was. I really enjoyed that stream as well, actually. I guess a few years later, people would no longer have physical pics. Yeah. I don't know if we'll need to, though. Right? It's not exactly efficient. Oh, there's a lot of ink and a lot of paper. Right? If every single person wanted all of their pictures printed, that's literal hundreds of thousands, maybe even hundreds of millions of metric tons of, you know, nature that we have to turn into little pieces of paper. It's a little rot. It's a little bit excessive. Hey, Bobby. She does this thing where she looks up at me sometimes. I have to give her a forehead kiss. There are like a ton of shit, ton that she could play that would actually teach her good things. It's true. Right? I guess it's just a matter of policing your child, right? Which is not something I think anyone really likes to do. Oh my goodness. An 8-year-old in America intentionally got himself bit by a black widow to become Spider-Man last week. Yeah, I wasn't one of those, right? I understood that getting bit by things because my cousin, when I was pretty young, I was like 3 or something or 4. My cousin got bit by a spider, and it literally like consumed his flesh, and there was like this cavity in his arm, and that cavity is now like a big red and soft scab, right? So as a child, I was like, oh hell nah, ain't no spider biting me. I don't want to get bit by spiders. So I was pretty apprehensive of them, at least for a part of my life. I had to like come to that fractal as well, right? I literally met the spider goddess. Story for another time. My heart is literally those goggles. So much love. You're not gonna convince me that comic books are bad for kids because one kid happened to be a dumbass. Exactly. Agreed. Agreed, right? Like I was also very much into that world, and I didn't let myself intentionally be bit by a black widow spider, the most poisonous spider. I like this. I just survival of the fittest bullshit. Don't quote me on that. Don't say I said that. Um, I, I was joking. I was making a joke. Please. Oh no. Okay, guys. Well, we would get bored of that duck. I've tried. Thankfully, I like the suggestion though. That is true. Is she wanting to play video games? I miss photo albums. There are like a ton of shit that you could play. Again, favorite one. She doesn't. She does that and watches YouTube Sham. Makes her own videos too. There we go. That's at least a step in the right direction. Creating. I mean, like again, Shan, like that was most of my childhood life as well. Right? I became an internet user. Sounds like drugs. Essentially is drugs. I became an internet user at the age of like 7 or 8. Sporadically, but still. And I mean, look how I turned out. Suddenly, every single parent is like, "Get those fucking internets away from our children! Look at how Mel turned out." Yeah, it's like again, it's a frame of reference, at a crazy scale, and then it's just like very important how you know, shape your frame of reference because you can do it in reverse. You can make it worse for yourself. You can lock yourself in a box essentially, with all of that fear monsters that you build in your mind. Would she be interested in learning photography or something like that? Also a great one. I have been a bad kid growing up, same. I didn't know why I had an aversion for my dad. That changed to love once I turned 21 to 22. I feel it's almost biological, right? It's like it's how it is kind of vibe. That if you're a boy, there has to be this certain level of trying to save your dad, but saving him because he can't save himself, and that not him saving himself is something that angers us, right? It's like a whole fractal. That whole thing, that thousands, millions of human beings have been through. She likes making goofy videos and gaming videos. That's the start. I can feel and hear the film right now, Beansy. The sun is our heating lamp. Yes, Lump has gone past the horizon. Maybe that's the way to encourage that and let her know that you support her interests. I think she does. There we go. I do. I tell her to keep going. I give her tips even, but what do I know? I mean, make videos with her even, right? Maybe like make it a mom and daughter thing. Maybe like ask her for tips as well. Have her be a part of your videos. Make maybe like that's like one way, right? If she doesn't feel like you're spending enough time with her, doing that type of stuff with her, right? Because that might be very meaningful time. And then it's going to be filmed, right? So eventually she'll be able to refer back to that stuff. Like that's more than most of us will ever have from our parents, looking back. Maybe a bunch of photos, but actual video of you doing stuff together on the internet that is gonna stay there for the next who knows how long. That is pretty significant in my mind. We are well. Fruit Cup has another ear. Eye infection, but she's not in any pain. Bless. I'm happy to hear that at least. I hope that she gets better soon, dear friend. She's running around in the backyard smiling and loving the sun and shade. This is the way. Is there some small item for her, streaming and computer stuff that she might need? Some little things like a wrist rest for her mouse or a new piece of lighting equipment. Love is true. She has all of those things, a light ring and stand and green screen even. I don't have the money to get her things though. That's the other thing. Mommy doesn't have money, so I can't do things like that. I hear you. Right. And that's like in a large part where that's in a large part where I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at you, Shan. I'm laughing at Joy Vive's Stone Age Technology comment. It's a large part where, a lot of the animosity can come from. In my life as a child, that was like one of the things that I was really like pained with my dad is how stingy he was, right? Like and my dad, I feel like my pain came from knowing that my dad had money and him not wanting to spend it on me, right? And then maybe in Amara's life, there being people that has money and can spend it on her, but you aren't doing the same thing because you don't have the money to spend on her, and then you not spending money on her is seen as somehow you being a bad mother or whatever. Yeah, children are not a reason. I have Star of Bethlehem and some of my remedy in my water today, Shan. So I'm sipping here with you, melting those traumas, right? From our parents and maybe from the kids as well in our lives. She's running around love again. Others can. Comparison robs our kids. It is hectic, Shan, especially teens because of social media. Yep, that's it. What you do, though, Shan, is show her how money doesn't create genuine happiness. Show her the moments that don't require money, and she'll remember them for the rest of her days. There we go. It's just hard, right? Because taking a moment where you go outside and actually look at the trees is unfortunately just not something that kids are interested in, right? Like that's just not. They would rather watch YouTube videos than go outside and spend some time. Like man, one of my comments being held. Storage technology. Hey, Melt fam, love again. And remember, Shan, the others aren't mothers. You are. She may be distracted by the world right now, but I bet you that she will always come to you as an anchor for her life, her safe space. I hope you're having a good time with your mom, Dan. Love is true. Thank you, Joy. I miss disposable cameras. Unfortunately, I am very happy disposable cameras are no longer a thing. That's just so much waste. That is so much plastic waste, right? Just like imagine the hundreds of thousands of metric tons of plastic cameras collectively gathered. That's just no, please, please, Mama Gaia, no more. I'm happy that we have cameras in our cell phones as well. Like that's, I feel like your cell phone is just going to become a crazier and crazier device. You're going to eventually be like a full-fledged scientist just of this, device that you can hold in your hand essentially. I am. Mom is the sweetest. I'm lucky to have had one great parent. I'm happy to hear that as well, Brother Dan. Maxine, that's exactly what I've been doing, but she's not getting it. Yeah. Sometimes it takes the metaphorical beating our head against the walls. Melty, your cousin that got bit by a brown recluse or something. Damn necropsy. I don't know what spider exactly. Like I just heard spider, right? So instantly all spiders suddenly became scary to me. How's everyone here today? I'm feeling like calm, mellow, and almost like I'm overfed, right? Like I did have some broth with some chicken and pasta, but I didn't have that much of it, right? And I feel like I'm gonna explode, kind of vibe, and it's been a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe too much information, but yeah, right. That's why I'm showing up today. She will Shan. Yeah, love is true. Her curiosity shows her the different fractals of people in the world. She will see the love and dedication that doesn't come from every human. This is the way. Pretty good. About to make some coffee and feed the cats. Love is true. I'm happy to hear that. You have any particular favorite coffee? Do you drink cream in your coffee? Do you drink it black? I've been drinking most of my coffee black over the last few weeks. I really like cream in my coffee. There's like a certain, experience to that as well. It makes me feel safe. There we go. The world is a teacher of so many emotions, situations, and experiences, good and bad. We only know what we want when we experience what we don't want. That's we go. Yeah. I sure hope so, Maxine. I'm holding on to that. Love is true. Please do. Continue holding on, Shan. Duckling is listening to a wonder book about monarch butterflies right now. Her choice, because we are on our way to see a butterfly garden at the zoo. Proud daddy, right? That sounds beautiful, dude. Her being willing to educate herself. The curiosity makes me happy, man. Props to all you loving parents in here and in chat. Y'all are brave as hell. Thank you, Dan, for echoing that love as well, man. She just said, Dad, did you know they migrate 4,000 miles? That's crazy. She's only 4 to understand what 4,000 miles mean. Pippi wants to hide herself in the nooks and crannies. Dad shit always gets to me. The dad shit always gets to me, Mel. I feel you. My dad actually blocked me yesterday, Lamal. Yeah. In that scenario, you're the one winning. That's the way I'm interpreting that, at least. Good. Good that your dad no longer has access to you, bro. I grew up not having money, surrounded by wealth. It's easy, Shan. By it isn't easy, Shan. But that's probably the one. She will grow up strong. Yeah. Shan, my body has mostly memorized my remedies, and I'm not taking it daily for that reason. We could talk about a new remedy that could be beneficial. I'm also almost like out of my remedy. And basically, every single one of my remedies have been a little bit different. Oh, oh, ah. We're going good posture melt. Unironically, it's making my body feel better. My body's like, yeah, oh, yeah. We're good posturing now. Sicketh. Let me see. Where were I? There we go. Shan, you're providing as best you can. And she has all that she needs. Yeah, even more, along with an amazing mother. Yo, how many people can't actually say that? It's understandable to feel that way, but she'll understand in her own way and appreciate all you do, especially depending on how messed up she's being towards you and how loving you can continue to be regardless, is going to create a wider and wider like aha moment in her mind when she closes that gap eventually. Shanna, you seem like an amazing mama bear. The fact that the babies push away from the parents is just one of those bitter truths about human development. She's just going through growth. Yeah, exactly. My mom isn't a good person, but one of my core memories with her is waking up early and her giving me a cup of international delight. I don't know what that is. I'm guessing coffee. She made seem like it wasn't for kids. So I thought I was so cool to have a cup of it as a child. Hey Google, can you show me what international delight is? Non-dairy coffee creamer. Nice. uh yeah, moms can create experiences like that. Like I remember my mom basically lying to me, telling me that a very hungry man, a man so hungry that he literally ate even the core of the apple that was supposed to be for me. And then, like a few days later, I saw my dad eat an apple with the core, and my mind was like, "What the fuck? Dad ate my apple." I was so pissed. Like the reverse of the experience of like, okay, good, good a man, a hungry man, so hungry that he had to eat the core. Like I did a good thing. Meanwhile, the other side. Oh, she's supposed to think you're cool. She's not supposed to think you're cool just yet. Exactly. Better than digital, not better than disposable. Film just looks a certain way. That's true. Yeah, that is true. Film does have a more true to the way you capture information of your eyes kind of vibe, apparently. And that can be more meaningful. But I am okay with never using film in my life. I'm content not using film, unfortunately. Does your dad eat the sticker and the apple? Loads of nutrients in that. No, unfortunately not. He doesn't do it anymore, right? That was just like a thing. That was just like a thing he was doing because it seemed cool or something. I don't know. Sometimes we do stuff like that. Shell, message me if you'd like to do another consultation. I'm down. Thank you for offering, Shan. I bet Dan. Love you, Shan. I'll message you on Discord. Please do. Monarchs are our state butterfly here in California. Melt each state has its state butterfly and flower. Do your provinces have anything like that? We have a country flower, but we don't have a country insect. Hey Google, does South Africa has a national insect? Nay. Nay, we don't. We ain't got no insects. That's pretty cool. The fact that you have a state butterfly and flower. You want to see our country's flower? It's kind of basic. Google, can you show me? Hey Google, can you show me South Africa's national flower? Meh. A protea is what they look like, and those things are big, like true to scale, probably that big, and they're pretty, but they don't smell good, right? It's kind of like where I'm like about it. If a flower doesn't smell that good, makes it less magical in a weird way for me. That's a sick flower. I hope you like it. They grow on trees. It's called a protea. They are pretty. I like them. I like the way they look, but unfortunately, they don't smell any good. It means more than we know to you. But how do you tell you concretely that it has meant for us? what it has meant for us. It's hard to. Shan, don't worry about the money stuff with kids. My mom was a single mom growing up, and it was always hard with money. But I remember how hard she tried for us, not the things we went without. There we go. Thank you, Dan, for echoing that as well. It's like frou frou tasting coffee out of a metal can. Ah, this was back in the early 90s. I get what you're talking about. Those metal can coffees was also fascinating to me. I was like, what? You can have coffee in a can. It's like, the fuck? How does that work? How is that possible, mom? Black magic. Coffee is made in a cup with hot water and stuff. Like, I can't put it in a can. It's impossible. Right? And then you taste it. It's like, it tastes like coffee. My stepdad used to tell me about Banana Man when you would go camping and say he would come and take us. We didn't stay by the campsite. I don't know how to interpret the information I just absorbed. No, 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 skibbity boom, boom, boom. We don't drank, not drink. I quit coffee finally, drinking from age 5 last year. I pretty much been drinking coffee since age 5 as well, actually. That's a sick flower. I believe Africa's state bird is the mosquito. As me, as which is said. I think it's a blowkransvol. I'm not even gonna try. No, no, no. It wasn't always like this for her though, Dan. Her and I are well taken care of before, but I was not happy in that relationship, and we had very different views on what matters in life. So I ended it. Yeah, and that change, to her, connects you to the vector, right? It's like it's your fault. It's your fault things are different instead of recognizing that things will always change, right? That she would have to grow up eventually, go and live the life that she's meant to live, follow her purpose. And yeah, who's she gonna blame then, right? Can't keep blaming you for stuff. So maybe this is just the hard way, like the cruelest way for her to learn this lesson through you, Shan. Melt reminds me of that 90s dance song with the lady or whatever she's trying to sing. I don't know either, but I appreciate it. I'm happy to be associated even more melty with all of the fractals. Joy saying, our state flower is the California poppy. It's the color of your bright orange scarf, and it's illegal to pick them. It is illegal to pick your flower melt. Hey Google, show me the California poppy. California papi. Suddenly, my eyeballs. That flower communicating to my brain, being like, "Yes, you're not allowed to pick me." Right? Look at that. Some pretty flower, right? That's pretty nice. You see, this is the cool thing to me. I don't even have to pick this flower to be able to put it right up in my face. I'm not supposed to use technology like that. I'm giving away my brain damage. Stop. I'm looking forward to smell-o-vision. I am. I want to be able to smell that flower through my screen. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Give me more technology. Joy, yes. That's tough, Shan. It's hard to explain that stuff to a kid. Adult relationships and stuff. I'm sorry you're in that spot. She's been doing well. Staying present and staying loving. We're proud of you, Shan. Stuff, Shan. Time to take a nap of fruit cup. Love you, dear Corey. Thank you for spending some time here with us. You're setting a good example, though. Staying in a bad relationship wouldn't be good for her to see you put up with, Yeah, exactly. Like just, seeing someone suffer and then being like, yeah, that's just the way it is. You're supposed to be unhappy in your relationships, right? Oh, you're unhappy? That's how it is. That's normal to be unhappy always. No. Mm-mm. Fighting is normal, sure, but unhappiness doesn't necessarily have to be the same thing as fighting. Yum, yum, yum. Yo, Pepe is losing her mind. Our fractal was the little green man. If something went missing or went wrong, my mom would say it's the little green man that did it. Freaking little green man. As soon as I find him, I'm gonna jump him. Mr. Mr. Shell says Republicans came into our house and moved the leftover lasagna. I know it's lasagna, but I just like messing with that word. Lasagna. And my keys. How dare they? Freaking Republicans. I'm hoping she will eventually. I'm sure she will. I look forward to even hearing, that fractal shared by you, Shan, where you can go like, yeah, things are better now. They were like really rough for the last 7 years or whatever, and now they're better. That's not funny, I know, but that's kind of how it happens sometimes, right? Like it took me and my dad many years, and I feel like we're still many years in the making of work to actually get to a space where we're not just constantly fighting and you know sharing that difficult space. I say lasagna. You see, I'm happy to hear that you also make the pronunciation joke, Maxine. Makes me feel even more connected once again. Let's play some kalimba, shall we? I believe that one day she will, 100%. And then, and when she does, she'll respect you for it. Even more so if she eventually, has to have that level of responsibility herself to really have that moment of like, oh my, I don't know anything. On top of the fact that I know that I was being someone who was not very pleasant. 555 showing, I was looking at it as well, actually. That's crazy that you're saying it specifically. I was like looking at your comment of saying, I say Luxagna, and then, the 555. There's like, it's 5:55 p.m., when you sent that comment. So another 555 there as well. Sending you love. Change is coming, and it's all going to be okay. Yes, it will. Your sunset is unbelievable. Right now, Melty. I'm happy to share it with you, friends. Let's play some kalimba, shall we? Sunsets and kalimbas. Creating a safe space. I'll do 4 minutes and 44 seconds today. Yeah. Scream, 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 scream. I screamy, screamy. I scream at nothing. I'm scream, scream. I'm screaming, screaming, screaming. I'm screaming. David? David O'Grady. What up? Straight up brain melt. David O'Grady is practically my best high school friend. Practically? Hey Google, define practically. Virtually almost. In a practical manner. Yeah. Best high school friend. Me and him essentially had a whole wing of a hostel to ourselves for the last while we were at school together. I would literally go and pirate internet from the gym that I was working out at, and then download episodes of Rick and Morty, and then bring it back, and then we would watch an episode of Rick and Morty together on a smartphone screen. What a dude. It's nice having you here, bro. I don't know if you're still here, David. I think I probably went into, a kalimba playing directly as you joined. But love you, bro. It's so nice having you here, man. Pippi decided to remix kalimba today. She was there for it. I see you, Melty. Love is true. Breathing, right? I can react or I can breathe, right? And I'm gonna have to breathe either way, even if I react. So I breathe instead. I can make breath my reaction to the stimulus of rage. Like, oh, I'm breathing. I'm breathing now. I don't have to scream. I don't have to say something. I can just breathe, actually. Breathing is an option. Having no opinion is an option. I love you all so much. Remember, you fucking matter. Yes. You're important. Yes. You're adored. Yes. You're supported. Yes. You're worthy. Yes. You're deserving. Yes, yes. You're never alone. Not even almost. Love is true. Virtually almost melts high school bestie. Like it's like because I was in one high school and then I went to another high school for the last like basically 2 years. That's year and a half of school, right? So he wasn't my best friend for the whole of my school time there, right? Like only for a little bit of it. So that's why I was like virtually, almost, basically. Oh, have the most beautifulest day, everyone. I sincerely love you all. So, so, very, very, super duper, extremely, enormously, tremendously, whoppingly, considerably, cosmically, dearly, melting all of you. Oh, so very wonderfully, amazingly, fantastical, fantastically, smashingly, invigoratingly, miraculously, gorgeously, brilliantly, magically, magical, divine friends. As we love you, dear Shan. Thank you for always sharing such beautiful messages. She can break all she wants. Sunset, still pretty though. Barks, that's true. Yeah. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for showing up, for love once again. I appreciate you all. Love is true. Thank you, friends, for joining me, for finding yourselves here once again to consciously evolve, to expand your mind, to learn things about yourself as I try to learn things about myself as well. That's how we grow, right? Slowly but surely, moment by moment, inching forward. Melty, you've been such an amazing teacher in my fractal. Thank you. Thank you for being such a good student, a dear friend, and a valuable and valued. I think I was just, and thank you for being a valued member of this community. Thank you, JZL. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your presence in these streams this last few days. It's a pleasure having you here. I love you. Love you so much. To the moon. It's not here yet. To the moon. All the way around the earth and back. And back to the moon. And then back again. And then back to the moon. And back here. I'll see you again soon, dear friends. Melt's announcer voice. In the end of Melt's stream, he presses just one button. It is '06. It is the 7th, so 6-7, and my battery is at 6-7% as well right now. Leave you with some synchronicity. Come back tomorrow for more. Melt more. Cheers, dear friends. Sending you lovin's. Where's Melt? Well, where Melt presses a button. Where Melt presses a button, and the stream